What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin for Mr. John Speed today. Yes, Bitcoin broke below 40K today, or yesterday actually. It's still today for me, but whatever. First time we've done that since the beginning of December. The daily RSI does look bearish, though I will say, and I mean it does, it looks weak. I think we've yet to see the glory of this downside, but you know, you've got these lower highs coming into play, these lower lows, whatever. Maybe it's more like this. You're at the bottom of this range. So if we saw some upside in the more immediate term, that wouldn't really surprise me. To be completely fair, it also wouldn't surprise me if we just continued dropping, because we did have a very bearish day yesterday. We did close finally below this low day here where we bounced. All hope for the bulls is just out of the equation right now. And wouldn't it be hilarious in classic Bitcoin fashion whenever people capitulate, whenever we have, like, in my opinion, we had solid evidence that we were going lower on this day. This was evidence enough to me, but that day really was the nail in the coffin. But this, there's no arguments now. You have lower lows, right? Like, that's no arguments at all. You even closed below it with a very bearish candle. Wouldn't it be funny if this was the day that we went all the way back up to like 44K, right at these like previous areas of resistance, right up here at about 44K, and then we went lower. I need to plug this in real quick. Just got a little ahead of myself there, but that's okay. Is it not in? There we go. Okay. Let me see this real quick. Yeah. So that wouldn't be crazy at all to me. And yes, we'd be breaking out of this range and then breaking back into it. A lot of bulls would probably be calling this a fake out. A lot of bears would get shaken out probably. This would be a perfect scenario for a bull trap. And actually, if we take this from a relative top to low here, if we were to bounce from here, at about 42.8K is our 382, okay? Oftentimes, you actually go a little bit past your 382. And what's right past your 382? This daily high close right here, where we could find resistance. We found support on it over here. We found a little resistance right there, you know. That's significant enough. If not, we could go all the way up here at about 44.2K. So that's kind of what I'm thinking could happen right now. Is we might bounce from here, see movements go all the way up from 43 to about 44.2K, something like that, and then resume this move to the downside. In classic fashion, form a bull trap and then move down. And that's exactly what that would look like, man, right up in there, right up in that area, in my opinion. So do we do that? I kind of think we do. I kind of do think we do. So we might be moving up in the more immediate term. But could we just go lower? I mean, we just broke. We're at very weak points in the RSI. It is possible. You know, I wouldn't recommend going long here. None of this is financial advice. I wouldn't recommend anything. Just do whatever you want, you know. But you never know whenever we could absolutely just continue to drop ass from here. With that being said, I mean, the 4-hour looks pretty damn bearish. Gotta be honest there. The weekly does look nice, right? You have these higher lows coming in and the higher highs, right? All like that. It's like a channel, but you could stand to go lower. But just because it goes lower doesn't mean it can't go up a little bit and then go lower. You know what I mean? And it would be nice to bounce off this 50 area. Right around that 50 area. It'd be nice. It'd be a nice bounce. So I do think the weekly does go down. That doesn't mean it has to happen this week, though it could. And the daily to me is the only one that kind of looks like it's due for a little bit of a bounce. But just because I think it is doesn't mean that it is. Absolutely, if today closes red, you get into that oversold zone. It's on. It's on more to the downside. Here on this day when you got oversold, did you find your low? No. Did you move sideways? You even moved up? Yes, but you did not find your low. Here's your low. Whenever you got, let's see, whenever you got oversold here, I think this one was kind of a one-off. You were oversold on this day. The very next day you found your low, and then you went up. Same thing actually kind of here. Here you dropped into the oversold zone after a 10% day to the downside. The next day you had a 14% day to the downside. So you weren't done. Just because you got oversold doesn't mean you were done. Here you got oversold. You moved sideways, continued to move lower. You even moved up more and then continued to move lower. So and you can go back and do this throughout all of it, right? Like, and if you want to say that, oh well, that's the bear market, it's different than the bull market. Okay, let's go to the bull market, right? Let's contest that. You don't get oversold often in the bull market, man. But look at this, right? Oversold here, continue to go lower, a little bit lower, albeit, but just a little bit lower. Also, if you're going to say, well, that was bear market, let's go to the bull market. Here's the bull market, but this is post-halving. Let's go to pre-halving, right? So here's May. Oversold zone here. continued to drop. You dropped a lot lower. Yes, that was COVID times, but even if that big candle didn't happen, it probably still would have gone lower. Maybe not down this low, but still lower nonetheless. Here, oversold. Okay, this one's a one-off too, right? Just kind of bounced up. But to be fair, this is kind of a play off of this oversold zone back here, where you got oversold on this day, continued to move down for the coming week. And then you moved sideways, went a little bit lower even after about a month, found a double bottom as Bitcoin likes to do, and then you moved up. And you can go back here even, right? Low to there. And this is definitely not at the in the bear market, right? This is after the bear market was over, yeah. So I'm just saying, man. What I'm trying to say is that when you see the oversold zone, you don't get out of it immediately. It's not as common. It's more common to actually continue to have prices go down, whether that's immediate or whether that takes a month and you consolidate and then you move just a little bit lower, something like that. I would kind of just based off of Bitcoin's past experiences, I would expect that if we got into the oversold zone, that we might be boring for a couple weeks, a few weeks, a month maybe, and then we have one final flush down to the downside and we find our low. And just because we do that doesn't mean it's off to the races from there. We're probably going to be boring for a little bit, but continuing to build prices to the upside. We're not oversold yet. We're not oversold yet. Again, I'm just talking about what happens if we do get oversold. If we do get oversold, if we close today red and we get oversold, then I would expect that we have more downside to come, right? That's what I'm getting at. And I think that we're going to go to 35K, 34.9K. If we don't, if today closes green, then I very much think that this bounce up to about 43.1K to 44.2K is at play. That's my genuine opinion. And then again, in case anybody missed the reason why I think Bitcoin is going to go to 34.9K. If we look at this from the lows to the highs here, so all the way back here, I'm going to zoom in now. We take our fibs from this low to high here. You did find resistance at your 0.5, but you found support on your 6.9. Okay, cool. Found a little bit of support there. From that same low to this high, you found support right on your 0.5. And actually, not only right on your 0.5, but right on the green line itself. Okay. You take this low to this high, you found support basically right on your 0.5 again, right? And then if we take it, am I looking at this right? Yes. We do this one to that high, also right on your 0.5 again. So if we take this low here to the top, the 0.5 is right there at about 34.9K, and that would be below the screen line. That'd be a little bit below the screen line, but again, this one time back here we tipped it. The other times we went a little bit below it and then went up, and then this time we went a little bit below it and then went up. I think that we will again go below the screen line to about 34.9K, probably toward the bottom of this price area. Not only this price area, but also this price area. We put a price right there or a line right there at 34.9K, something like that, a little bit lower, but you get the gist. Support, previous area of support back here, previous area of support back here, like lower end of this range. It just makes sense to me, man. It honestly does make sense to me that we would go basically right there. But I can be wrong. We could go lower. Absolutely we could, but I don't think we're going to turn around until we at least see that level. But I got nothing else to say, man. I've got nothing else to say. So watch for that. Watch for today to close green. If we can close today green, especially if we can get any day to close back above this daily low close here at about 41.23K, then we probably do see a move that takes us up to about 43 to 44K. But if today closes red, if it closes red and we get in the oversold zone, we probably don't get that bounce, and we're going to continue to move down in the immediate terms. Because again, whenever you get oversold, it's very rare, it's not as common to just get oversold for one day and then bounce the next day. It's not common at all. It's more common to either continue the onslaught to the downside or move sideways. After a few weeks goes by, then you move lower, right? Something like that. But that's all I got for you guys. I'm going to go to bed. Have a good night. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you all for coming, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.